Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. And for today's project, I finally finished my wrought iron effect wall hanging. I've spent about 6-7 weeks working on this, and I finally finished it today. And I did finish it today. I did the painting this morning. So yeah, I will show you how I made this. It's a little bit different than how I normally do my videos. There is only really a couple of steps to this. So I've filmed me doing the process and sped it up a little bit, and I'll show you how I did it. But it was a lot of doing the same thing. So we'll get into today's video. So I saw this picture on Pinterest a couple of years ago, and I really liked the wrought iron wall hanging above the frame, and I knew I wanted to do something similar in my own style, and I needed to figure out how I was going to make it. So I originally thought about using paper mache, and I knew it wasn't going to work out once I tried to start doing the paper mache, and I ended up using clay in the end. But I did a quick rough design on some A4 white card, and I've left the center bit free because there's something already on the wall. This is going to sit above it, and now I'm going to measure out the size that I want, and I'm going to stick some large sheets of paper together, and then I can transfer the design, and I'm going to make it a lot longer and the size that I actually want. So I've stuck the pieces of paper together using sellotape underneath on the back, and now I'm going to just mark where I want the bottom of my piece to be. So this is going to be the center, and then I won't go any lower than this mark. And I'm also going to fold the sheet in half so I know exactly where the center of this piece of paper is. And then I can work from the center outwards. I'm just going to use a pencil, draw my design, and then I'm going to color it in black marker so that I can get a rough idea of how I want it to be. So for drawing the design, I'm going to start in the center, which is a circle, and I'm going to use an 8-inch hoop, and this is going to be the base where I'm going to work my way out. And then I'm also going to use A4 card, and I'm going to create some stencils for the hearts and also the fleur-de-lis, and then I can make sure that it's symmetrical on both sides. So I'm going to just do a little bit to start off with, color some of it in black marker, and then I'll continue to work on it until I'm happy with how it looks. And here is the finished design. It took me about 3 days to do. That included the first initial design, the smaller one, and then transferring it onto the size that I wanted. But I'm really happy with how it's looking, and now I can start to work on the actual building of the structure. So for the base of the structure, I'm using tinfoil. You can pick this up in any supermarket. And when I was making this section, I thought I was still going to be using paper mache. If I knew that I would have ended up using clay in the end, I would have used wire in this as well to make it more sturdy, and maybe some wooden skewers as well. All I'm doing is just rolling up the tinfoil to the size that I want and using my design as a template to bend it into the shapes that I need. I'll be using hot glue to glue it all together, and I'm going to use different thicknesses of tinfoil as well, just to give it a bit more shape and a bit more dimension and definition. So when I did the initial design, I made sure that everything was connected. So all the fleur-de-lis, the hearts and all the swirls are all interconnected, so that once I'd made the base out of the tin foil, everything would be stuck together and it'd be a little bit more sturdy. So I've done the centre part and I'm going to continue to work my way out. If I knew I was using clay, I definitely would have put wooden skewers in these bits at the side, but I didn't know, and it's a lesson learned and I will definitely remember it for in the future. And it took about a week and a half, 2 weeks to do all the tin foil. It was the rolling it up into the strips that took forever, making sure that each of them was the same thickness, and I just continued to work my way out until it was all completely done. So this is the finished design, all in tin foil, and I'm really happy at this point with how it's looking. And I was just started to use paper mache. You can see the glue on the table and some strips that I've already cut, and within about 20 minutes I realized that it was not going to work. So what I ended up doing was I pulled out my clay, and I've only ever used air dry clay twice before, and I've only done tiny little things with it, so this was going to be a lesson I was definitely about to learn. This took weeks to do, and when I started it I was really enthusiastic about it, and I was just adding a little bit of water to the tinfoil to make sure that the clay stuck, and I'm just going to pop bits on and then smooth it out with my fingers and water until I'm happy with the thickness and that all the tinfoil is covered. I'm going to do underneath as well, and yeah, it took a long time. When I first started I would do about 5, 6, 7 hours of this at a time, and towards the end of doing this I was only ending up doing about an hour and a half, and I had to put it aside. Everybody always says I have lots of patience, and yeah, it was really running thin towards the end of this project. I was definitely not as sprightly as I was when I first started, but I finally managed to get it finished. So I'm not going to show too much of me doing this. It took forever. I was just smoothing it onto the tinfoil, making it sure that it was as smooth as I could possibly get it, and letting it dry, and then so I could pick it up and continue working. And here it is with all the clay, and I'm so glad that that is over. It took forever, and yeah, I nearly lost my patience towards the end, but I'm glad it's done, and now I can do the exciting thing of painting. And I've been wanting to paint this for weeks, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. So I'm just going to use black acrylic paint and a paintbrush, and I'm going to make sure that I paint from each angle so that it is completely covered. So I'm just going to do a little bit of painting. I'm going to let it dry, and then I can put it up on the wall in the bathroom. And here it is painted, and now I just need to put it up on the wall. I have no idea how I managed to get it on the wall. Obviously, I live on my own, and I could have done with another 2 arms for this, but I did manage to get it up, and yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I'm going to stick it in the bathroom in the place that I made it for, and we can have a look at what it looks like. And here it is on the bathroom wall. I just put a couple of nails in and then hung it up. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks now above the rest of the display. And I can't wait to paint the walls gold if I'm allowed. And I think it would really pop. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. It took a long time to make, but I'm glad it's over. If I was going to do it again, I would probably do smaller ones. It was a bit of a big project, but I'm really happy with the end result. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and yeah, I will be back on Monday with my next craft project. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do something not for my bathroom for a week, and then I'll go back to doing my bathroom crafts. But yeah, I'm going to do something, I think, floral and spring related. I'm feeling a little bit of spring in the air, and yeah, I think it would be nice to do something nice and bright and colourful. So I will see you on Monday. Have a great week, and I will see you